Hi there, wherever you are, and welcome to the third episode of From Lala to Utah. I'm Chris from Lala, where I grew up in the Val. That's the San Fernando Valley of Los Angeles. This is Lottie, our trusted friend.
Very helpful co-anchor or co-host, whatever. I'm Dar. I grew up here in St. George, Utah. Chris and I met online in 2018, and we were married in October of 2021.
That's right. So, third episode, we hope you've enjoyed, we've tried to spread a little joy. It's the whole goal starting the week, and we certainly hope you have a great one. And how you feel? I mean, this is Dar's pet project.
It is. I've been wanting to do a podcast or, a YouTube channel or, and I just feel like I'm learning something new every week. I'm having a lot of fun deciding what we talk about, kind of roping you into my project. So, I'm loving it.
I mean, Dar doesn't have experience, doesn't do broadcasts like I did, but this is her baby, and I pretty much let her have the reins, and I'm just along for the ride. So is our cat Lottie, who's sitting on my lap at the moment.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, let's talk about our week. And first off, the most important part of the week was this person's birthday.
Yeah, I got spoiled. Chris is really good at spoiling me every day, but especially on my birthdays. So honestly, the day itself was just really chill. But the night before, we had a family pool party, which we were in the pool swimming. We were eating we weren't eating in the pool, but we had tacos before the pool. And we watched The Karate Kid 2 while we were swimming. And I love having my family around. And it was just a lot of fun. It was a really fun night.
And that's the difference between a woman and a guy. I have no problem eating in the pool. But yeah, we watched Karate Kid 2.
Yeah. It was one of my favorites growing up, of course. So.
And then on the actual birthday, I always like to give her a staycation. So we had a little sweet stay. And I can certainly recommend the Best Western on St. George Boulevard.
Yeah.
The Coral. Is it called Coral Cliffs?
Or I'm not sure. We should have looked it up.
Look for the one that starts with Coral.
It's right next to what is it? The Mexican
George's
food.
and the Mexican food
Angelina's, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a couple blocks east of Ancestor Square.
And what have we been watching?
Well, we started Star City. So I know you wanted to see that, and it's kind of the Russian side of the story of this
For All Mankind.
Yeah.
The fictional space race of For All Mankind. If you haven't watched For All Mankind on Apple TV,
we mentioned that last week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a history buff and all that. So this is the Russian side. This is a fictional Russia. So Soviet Union. I'm sorry, it's still the Soviet Union in the late 60s, where they were first on the moon. And incorporate some real figures like the chief designer and Alexei Leonov, but also some false figures and some people for All Mankind fans, the younger versions who you recognize immediately, obviously. So it's good. It's bleak. It's actually filmed. It's filmed like a true Cold War thriller, which is actually kind of cool.
It's heavy and it's dark and it's very Cold War. But it's interesting to see it from the other side.
Yes.
But I want to go back to a movie that we watched on Netflix, which I really loved. And I hear the book is amazing. But it's called Remarkably Bright Creatures.
Oh, I mean, I'll tell you, it's a remarkable movie is the first thing that came to my mind. I mean, it's just, talk about spreading joy. It's on the surface, you're like, it's an octopus telling the story of a retired widow.
But Alfred Molina narrates as the octopus. And
it works.
We love him in anything. And then Sally Field plays Tova, the main character, and she's kind of a janitor for the aquarium. And she's there alone at night talking to the sea creatures. And I don't know, it sets the tone for a really interesting story.
Yeah, and it's great performance. Louis Pullman, who he really looks so much like his dad, who's Bill Pullman of Independence Day and Spaceballs fame. And by the way, father and son will be Lone Star and Son in Spaceballs too. I'm looking forward to that next year. And gotta give a shout out to Cole Meany, Chief O'Brien of Deep Space Nine Star Trek fame, who's he's obviously more than that. He's in a great movie called The Commitments. Always been a very prolific actor, but he's the grocery store owner in this. There are aspects of this almost remind me in ways of St. George, as far as being
kind of small town,
more maybe
warm
Heroin
connections.
or Cedar
Maybe,
City.
yeah, a lot smaller than St. George, but still based on the characters and their relationships. Yeah.
And, you know, I'm the sports guy, so, and Dara's usually along for the ride on that one. And
I'm usually on my phone doing something else, but I want to support you in your sports and what's happening this week in sports.
But you like the football and you love the hockey. We've gone to the Golden Knights games together. And, you know, as we're filming this, I mean, it's going to be on Monday. Right now, the Golden Knights are down 3-2. So either they've tied things up on Sunday, or it's a big game 7 coming up of the Stanley Cup. But it's so remarkable. And I was there in Vegas at the very beginning, that magical first year. And it's funny, I grew up as an LA Kings fan and ended up covering them as a reporter. And what's interesting to me is that in 50 plus years, the Kings have been in the Stanley Cup twice, 3 times and won. And the Golden Knights have now also been there 3 times in less than 9 years, and might be winning a second, though the Carolina Hurricanes, I said Carolina Hurricanes, not Hurricane, for those of you
That's a local joke.
It's a local joke.
Yeah.
But you know, that said, it's funny how the Golden Knights started out as the misfits of hockey. They were built together as, you know, basically teams got to get rid of their worst 2 players, and they were given to the Knights, basically, and they turned that team into a team that's now won.
They've been amazing. I mean, I was never into hockey till I met you, and just your love of the Golden Knights has made me really love that too. And it's just everyone in Vegas, that's their team. Like, it's so heartfelt. They're so loyal.
It will always be Vegas's team.
Yeah.
I mean, they're always going to be they are still bigger than the Raiders, even though they came there. And I think they'll always be bigger than the A's.
Well, and St. George is only 2 hours away from Vegas. So a lot of people here are Knights fans, although now we have the Mammoth. And so we're, you know, maybe Northern Utah is more Mammoth fans. So.
It's interesting. I did a story for Fox 13, going out to, and shout out to Red Rock Hockey over there at Snow Park. They have a great local roller hockey thing going here, but there's no actual ice hockey rink. But I went out to do a story, and are you still Golden Knights fans? And most actually said Mammoth. I think it's 2 things. One, obviously the Utah connection. People are loyal to Utah. And 2, the Mammoth actually visited at the start of the season there. So that's always going to make an impression.
Sure.
So Knights, it's on you. Come up here and show off. And but ultimately the Knights are drastically the better team. And the other thing, of course, going on, and I have the start to prove it, if you're watching on YouTube, it's World Cup time. Always, every 4 years, this is just a big moment. It's in the United States this time, and Canada and Mexico. And so, it's my support's obviously the United States. I'm cheering on Mexico, and boy, England and Scotland, baby. My Welsh did not make it. They missed it by 1 game.
Oh.
But enjoy the World Cup. Think of it, even in situations like there are right now, even surrounding the World Cup, where fans are banned from coming from certain countries because they're in Africa. We can go on to that, but the thing is, the World Cup, even with the corruption within FIFA, is ultimately about joy. The joy of the world coming together and enjoying it. It's even more than the Olympics, I would say. It's a moment where the entire world is absolutely watching the same thing at once and really invested in what's going on. And now the United States is too. I mean, I know the first game in the U.S. got the highest rating ever for a World Cup first game in the U.S. So America's on board with soccer, as we call it now, or football, and the rest of the world. And it's great to see. I mean, it's great. It's a world coming together, even in a situation where so much is being done to keep the world apart. And I know thanks to Ted Lasso, you're a big soccer person now too.
I am now. I can kind of follow it because Ted Lasso got me in. It kind of got that emotional connection for me.
So are you saying that football is life?
Football is life. It is also death.
Football is also death.
Yes.
It's life.
Yes.
With that, we're going to take a little bit of a life break from Lala to Utah, but we'll be back in a second. And we're going to talk about our weight loss journey coming up.
Yep. So
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Stay tuned.
You bet. All right, and we're back, and this is the third episode, and we meant to. I mentioned the World Cup gear, but there's some other gear you want to mention.
Gear. So this is my Rocky Amaze shirt.
Same here. Amaze.
Yes.
Fist my bump, honey.
Fist my bump.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
If you have, it's available now.
Streaming
now to order, but we've already talked about our love of Project Hail Mary and Andrew Weir. It's just
anything Andy Weir
I can't wait for those of you to discover this movie.
Yeah.
And the book. I still say read the book first and see the movie, but I could go the other way around.
Or listen to it the way we did. I loved it. I mean, as we were playing video games, we were listening to it, and then the adaptation was really good, I thought. So.
Yes. I mean, rare time. I can only really one other time, maybe it was the Lord of the Rings movies, where I felt that the movies lived up, if not exceeded the books. This lived up to the book. I mean, the book is still much better, but I'll tell you, it's about journey across the stars, and we've had a journey.
We sure have
on weight loss.
Yes. So I want to dig into it just a little bit. So I think the question that we have for this segment really was gastric sleeve and GLP-1s. Is it worth it? Like it, and in our case, it absolutely changed our lives.
So we should show pictures.
Yes.
If you're watching on YouTube, we're going to show you pictures of us just before the surgery.
Yeah.
And should we, I don't know if we're going to show after right away or.
Well, I'm not sure what order I'll put them in, but I'm definitely going to show before and after because there's a visible change for sure, as there should be. But I remember when I first met you, I feel like we were sitting on the couch. I saw your pulse in your neck. Like you had high blood pressure. And I thought, I know who to take you to. Because my dad had some health issues and I had taken him to those appointments. But when we got to the cardiologist, he said, I really suggest gastric sleeve to you. And he named several health issues that you were battling that he's like, you're young enough that if you do the right things, you can come back from this.
I had an enlarged heart.
Yeah.
My heart was bigger and enlarged itself.
Uh-huh.
My family has a history of high blood pressure. My late grandpa, who I've talked about before, who was a creator of cartoons for Disney and Hanna-Barbera, he died at 56 of a heart attack.
Yeah.
We have heart history in our high blood pressure, heart attack history in my family. So when my cardiologist, said it's at that, to me, it was like, no, it's at that point where if you don't do this, you're going to be your grandpa.
And I knew that he was trustworthy. He saved my dad's life. I knew that. And so if he was saying, hey, you got to get this under control. So first of all, we went to Weight Watchers. We did that for probably a year and a half with some success. And I had done intermittent fasting before I met you. You had done Atkins before you met me.
Intermittent fasting, everything in the book.
But then when the cardiologist is saying you got to get this under control, we both went to our insurance. We both had full-time jobs with insurance and both denied the surgery. Neither one would approve.
I regret to say it, in some ways this is going to be an indictment of the U.S. health system. And it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
Where, this should be a no-brainer. You want to have people go to the doctor less. And for some people, as we just discussed, we tried everything in the book.
Mm-hmm. And our doctor, we had a internist that we were both seeing at the time that we were together. He wrote a letter to the insurance. So not only the cardiologist was saying, but our internist was saying, they've got to have this surgery, and we were still denied.
But we know it's such a struggle for people.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to lose it. You got to lose. It's not simple. And I'll tell you later why it wasn't simple for me. We found out after the surgery. But we also need the Weight Watchers. I'm open to give I was 420 pounds.
Yeah. And I was 335.8. So 336.
We're up there.
And I'm 5'5". I'm a small person for weighing 336 pounds.
But it's funny because I didn't see, when I see old pictures of myself now, I can't believe, at the time, it's going to be weird as we go along talking about this, but we don't necessarily even see it in the mirror every day. Mm-mm. But when we look at pictures of between 2 years ago and now, I'm just stunned that we're the same person.
Because like speaking for myself, I knew I was big. I didn't know I was that big.
But we even tried Weight Watchers.
Yep, we did.
I lost 60 pounds and you lost 25.
And I lost 25. Yeah. And I felt like that was manageable with the system that Weight Watchers has in place with the 0 point foods. We used the app. But it just wasn't making the difference that we needed in the way that we needed it. And so we dipped into our savings. We had some money from our wedding.
Well, we had to, because we heard about, and a lot of people in St. George go this, because so many are either turned down by their insurance or told that individually they're going to have to pay tens of thousands of dollars to get the surgery.
Yeah.
And you heard about?
So through friends of friends, there's the Diabetic Obesity Center. They had come up to St. George.
Diabetes Obesity Clinic in Tijuana, Mexico.
And they had done presentations. I had, acquaintances that had gone through the surgery, and I'm like, they seem really trustworthy. They have a system down. And so I ended up researching, looking at their website, calling. We kind of texted back and forth through the representatives for a few months just to make sure that the timing was right. They had a really good special at this time that we're like, okay, it's now or never. We got to lock in this price. And so we
considering
went for
it'd be tens of thousands of dollars for each of us to get this.
I'm going to say, I know someone really close to me that had this same surgery, gastric sleeve. And the sleeve, basically, they cut and staple your stomach at the same time. They follow your esophagus, and they give you a little pouch that's maybe a half a cup or a quarter cup, where your stomach that can hold food is much smaller. Well, this person that's really close to me had the surgery, did the nutritionist, did all the doctors. Even with insurance, they were in $12,000, $13,000. And I'm like, I can't, we just don't have that. And our insurance is saying no. So when they were giving us the price, ultimately, between what we had in savings, we had a CD that we had started after our wedding. So we cashed in our CD, and then we got a loan for I think it was like $2,500 left. We were able to get both of us to have surgery and fix your hernia.
Yes. For
under $10,000.
I mean,
and it was all inclusive. Like, they picked us up at the airport. Like, I'll go into that more, but all we had to pay for was, how do we get to San Diego? And we decided to fly.
And I know people are like, immediately you're skeptical. You're going to Mexico.
It's kind of a destination for weight loss now.
It really is. And it's funny. I mean, I used to, growing up in Southern California, you go to TJ all the time. Either as a kid, your parents go. My mom would go to every store in TJ. I was like, it's the same paper mache puppets. I mean, come on, Mom. But it's just amazing how there are now all these tall buildings in Tijuana. It's because of a growing medical industry of people needing to leave the United States to get the basic things done.
I'll tell you, I was working for the school district, and at that time they were shopping around our insurance, because insurance rates were going up every year. And one of the options they were looking at was, are you willing to drive to Tijuana to get your dental done, to get your medical done? Yeah. And I think it was vetoed. I think that was something that the union voted on, but it's just getting so expensive here in the United States that most people are struggling to get what they need done. And by the way,
we're talking about even going to Mexico and paying something.
Yeah.
The rest of the free world, I mean, certainly I have so much family in Britain, they are absolutely amazed by all this because they would pay nothing. Nothing. So
and they'll say that the wait times in the UK or, nationalized healthcare, the wait times are long, but they're long here too.
They're long here too. It takes forever to get a doctor here.
And how many GoFundMes have we seen for either funerals or surgery or I don't have insurance or...
We live in the GoFundMe economy here, and it's not sustainable. It's just not. And especially now as things are getting hard for everybody. Yeah. If you look at most GoFundMes these days, they don't come close to...
They're not being funded because nobody has money anymore. Yeah.
So now what do you do?
So on that happy note, let's take a break.
We're going to take a break. We're going to talk about when we went to... Now, okay, so we're going to Mexico, but how was the quality of this work at the Diabetes Obesity Clinic, it's called?
Yes, and we will tell you.
We'll tell you. It's
right
very
after
interesting.
this.
All right, we're back, and we are talking about our trip to the Diabetes Obesity Clinic in Tijuana, Mexico.
Yeah, so they have this down to where as long as you get to the airport in San Diego, they send a driver to come pick you up at the airport. They drive you across the border. They take you right to the hospital, which I thought was an amazing facility. So
marble floors. I mean, going in, I'm like, okay, we're gonna go in, and it's gonna be like the Joker Hospital in Batman. It's gonna be like the guy's back there with a little light going up.
Why would you say yes if you thought that's what it was?
Well, no, it's just like that's most people's vision of going down across. Well, it was exactly the opposite.
I had done my research though. Like I knew that it was top-notch level. Like you could literally, when we went in, marble floors, you could smell the fresh paint.
I mean, I was confident because of the people's experience here.
Yes,
and talking to other people who've gone there. But still, seeing is believing. And I swear, I immediately felt like I was going to Cedars-Sinai in Beverly Hills, and I was a celebrity. It was just amazing.
It felt very white glove, very concierge. Like the ladies that met us at the front desk could not have been nicer. The driver could not have been nicer. My whole experience there, I don't think I've had better care anywhere. Really?
Better care than you would have gotten here.
Yes.
I mean, it was the best medical experience I have ever had.
Yes.
And I can, I've had medical experiences in my life.
Sure. Well, and I thought it was really fun because I'm like, we're coming together. Are we going to be in 2 separate rooms or can we share a room? They put both beds in one room.
One room.
We loved it. It felt.
We had great cable. I mean, we were having a vacation, basically.
It was amazing. And they kept our pain under control to where I never felt in pain. We were up and walking really quickly.
Well, because I felt like it was feeling like a vacation.
Yeah.
And somebody goes, oh, yeah, we're here. I'm here to get a surgery.
Yeah.
I got to say, other than, basically having wisdom teeth removed, I've never really had a true surgery going on.
That's true. This was your first surgery.
And so, I'm a little freaked out about it.
I had other, I got my tonsils out when I was 4. I had my gallbladder out in my 20s. But yeah, this was your major. You were a little nervous, but the fact that we could share the room together, that we were doing this together.
It helped so much.
And we knew that we were going to improve our lives together, that we were going to ease back into the eating of things, together too. I do remember the nurse coming in after your surgery. You went first.
Yes.
So I was there when you came back. And do you remember what the nurse told you?
Yes. And this is amazing. This, by the way, and what you talk about, everyone's struggle, and it's so terrible. You have to give grace to people. Why don't you just lose weight? It turned out after they operated, it kind of broken English. It made it at first sound like it's just the biggest stomach they had seen today. But they said literally, it was, I'm not talking about the skin, I'm talking about the actual organ, the stomach that I had was one of the largest they've ever seen as far as capacity. So it explained everything in my life, that I could never feel full because I literally had I had basically a fuel tank for a semi-truck in the body of, I'm a big guy, but still, it's almost like having the gas tank of a semi-truck in a VW Bug. I mean, it was just like, I could never be full ever.
Yeah.
And explained it.
But the way that he said it though, like he was a surgical nurse and he was kind of joking, like, this is the biggest one we've seen all day. But no, he really meant it was big. And it did mean that all the things that we had been trying, you were kind of white knuckling. And this surgery was going to really make a difference because the capacity to overeat wasn't there anymore. And so what I should mention is this package not only included the surgery, but you stayed in the hospital one night and then they took you to a really nice hotel the next night.
The nicest hotel in Tijuana.
And that hotel knew our bariatric menu. They had food available for us. And we were constantly in tune with the doctors. They gave us a little bag of medications, told us when to take them. And then from that day for the next, I would say, year, we had a WhatsApp call with the nutritionist, with a counselor, a therapist. They never just let go of us. Like they kept in touch.
Even
now. Yeah. And I reached out saying, we're going to tell our story. Is it okay?
Yes.
Is it okay if I say we went to your specific clinic and they're like, not only is it okay, we would like to give your listeners a discount. So, okay, you're going to get an amazing deal because they have a good special that's happening right now, an all-inclusive package, the same thing that we got for $6,650, which is already a great deal. But they're going to offer our audience $300 additional off. All you have to do is mention that you heard about the surgery.
Diabetes Obesity Clinic.
Diabetes Obesity Clinic.
We'll put a link up.
By the way, they don't only do gastric sleeve, they do gastric bypass, they do revision, they fix your hernia.
They fix my hernia.
And if they find a hernia while they're doing a surgery, they fix it for you. I mean, they'll tell you, if we find one, we'll fix it. Is it okay? Here's the additional cost. But they prepare for every eventuality. And so if you've had a surgery that you're like, man, I don't feel that restriction anymore, I could really get a top up. Or if you're like, well, I did the gastric sleeve, but it's really not working, I want to do the gastric bypass, they can help. And I highly recommend them. So,
right. And they're in the sponsor show, but they just, we call, because they've stayed in touch with us. And we said, oh yeah, we're going to mention you guys in the podcast. And they're like, oh yeah, give people a discount. What the heck?
Yeah, they've been amazing. Cool. I highly recommend them. So,
I think there's we'll have the contact and the links on the screen, but you can give it a little.
Yes, the person I asked who to reach out to, and her name is Issel Vázquez, and I'm going to put her email address and her phone number on the screen, and I'll also put it in the notes. But I could not have been happier. I highly recommend them. And so if you're looking for this level of intervention in your health, I would say it's the best thing that we've done collectively for our health. And
I mean, it just, so, it just was, I mean, top notch. And I mean, that's the thing. It's a big leap for people. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, for me, it's like you talked about my cardiologist, like, this is like, you do this or you're your grandpa. You're dying in your 50s.
We want to prevent that. And to date, I just did the math this morning. I have lost 89 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I never would have thought. And then I think you're at, what, 120?
120, almost 130, really. I mean,
130
I'm at, like, I can say straight up, I'm at about 282.
That's great.
Which is basically, well, two things. One, it's my, it's my fresh, not college weight, because you all gain. It's the start of my freshman year weight, and I'm now wearing the size pants I wore in the summer just after high school.
That's amazing.
I'm very close to my high school weight, which I never thought I'd get to.
Yeah.
So this is, I think, the time to show the before. So
yeah.
So before, I can just describe this for those listening. I mean, we didn't realize
you were wearing 4X or 5X tops.
5X tops. I always have the word tall because I'm tall.
Well, because you're tall.
But 5X.
And I was wearing 3X or 4X. I think I was a size 26 women. Mm-hmm. About 26 women.
I was wearing 48 or 50 pants.
Yeah.
I'm down to 38s now.
And now I'm a 1X. I still am battling a lot of other things, which I'll describe maybe a little bit. I have a low thyroid.
And you mentioned the condition.
Yeah, I think I have lipedema on my mom's side.
Lipedema.
Uh-huh. But, I look at my pictures and I'm like, okay, I can see a difference. Do I see 89 pounds worth? Maybe not yet. But
that's the thing. It's funny. And for those who certainly are going through this, especially those initially going through, and you're going, I don't see it in the mirror.
Yeah.
Psychologically, that's just how it is. I mean, you never see it for yourself, but boy, make sure, I would say the biggest recommendation I'd make is take pictures
the whole time.
Every 2 weeks, take a new picture of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's where you see it. And your friends will say it.
Yeah.
And I know it's tough to believe because your friends, your really good friends are going to be honest, but they're also going to, they're going to try to cheer you up.
Well, and we did take pictures. So I'll share a bunch of those. I'll put a bunch in the feed or in the YouTube channel.
Yeah. And you're going to see them. And I mean, it's nice. And I can't believe this is, and that's the last thing I'll say is I talk about my, getting basically just about back to my high school weight. And when I was in high school, I played for high school football. I was supposed to be big, playing lineman in a high school football team. And I felt fat. I felt big. And then later in life, especially as I got bigger, I looked back at those pictures and went, oh, I look so great. I wish I could have that body again. I'd appreciate it next time. And I do now.
Yeah.
So I have never felt better about how I look than I do now in my life.
Yes. And I love seeing you admire yourself in the mirror. I love it. And it's not a vain thing. I know you're appreciating your progress from April of 2024. That's when we had the surgery, April of 2024 until now. So when we come back from the break, I want to talk to you about how things look now, what we're doing now. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. All right, we're back, and we're going to talk a little bit about what comes after the surgery, and
Yeah.
especially for those of you who are considering this gastric sleeve, and also those considering using GLP-1s.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, today, it's the big thing that's happened to me right away are just the welcome changes.
Yeah.
Things like certain, like going out to eat is such a change.
It is. We share one.
Well, there's a place we love here in St. George called Durango's.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite was always the large marinade chicken burrito. Mm-hmm. And I'd eat one of those by myself.
And we're talking, that much.
Not that much. It's not. We're not talking about the U.S. foot-long burrito. I mean, but it's a pretty big burrito.
Yeah.
And I eat one of those by myself. Now we order one small marinade chicken burrito, so half the size of the one I used to eat by myself. Mm-hmm. We cut that in half, and then we cut the
half and half.
Half and half. So really, we're cutting into fourths.
Yeah.
And we'll each have one of the fourths for dinner.
Yep.
And we are fine.
Yes.
Just
and we'll
both
have the other
together.
Half for lunch the next day. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So rather than the one large burrito, I eat a fourth of the small burrito, and I'm happy.
So portion sizes have really changed. Like I can be full on a Greek yogurt.
We're
yogurt.
Full.
Or a banana, and then I'll have to wait another half hour or before I can fit anything. But our focus now is protein.
Oh, it's
huge. That's kind of, we centrally think, okay, what protein can I start with? And then can I add vegetables? Do I need to add grains? What do I need to add to it? But we're focusing on getting the right amount of protein for every meal. That, and then also hydration.
Oh, and that's the thing, because you're not going to get, you're going to feel full after so little that you still need to watch that nutrition, and especially hydration, especially if you're in a hot climate like St. George or most places these days. And we take some extra vitamins, but in this form.
So these are the ones that have worked for us. So Bruins, it's kind of like a green drink, but in gummy form. So
the gummy bears.
Yeah, each little packet has 8 gummies, and so we each have one packet of these. These are functional nootropic gummies. So for an ADHD brain and for a perimenopause brain, this is really helpful to get that brain fog away and to help us focus. But this is really to kind of bridge the gaps between, we're not eating a lot of fruit and vegetables because we just don't have room. So we do try to eat healthy, but I highly recommend both of these products.
But you talk about hydration. I mean, I love flavored waters.
Yes, Hint. You've got me hooked on Hint.
But I don't drink soda as much anymore. And Utah, if you don't know, is huge on soda. This is a place, they're starting to spread around the country now.
Dirty soda shops.
Dirty soda shops got their start in St. George.
They did. Yeah.
Between Dutchman's starting it off and then Swig really taking it off.
But now you have Splash, you have Pop, Fizz.
But they also, I mean, when you learn, if you haven't seen the example of how much sugar is in one can of
soda.
Coke or soda, it's like literally you're drinking a vat of sugar every time.
It's just too much. Not only the sugar, but the bubbles. Now that we have the gastric sleeve, we don't have room for the bubbles to expand.
Right. Probably soda is actually the biggest contributor, even diet sodas.
Yeah.
Because they have just as much of the same properties, our biggest cause of weight gain. So, the thing is that before this, I would consider myself maybe a social alcoholic drinker. I'd have maybe one beer or one wine going to a friend's or going to a party once a month.
If that.
I'm now the same way with soda.
Yeah.
I'll have maybe one can of Coke a month.
If we go to the movie, maybe.
If we go to a movie or go to a friend's or go to a party like your birthday. And so your tastes really change after having, weight loss.
Speaking about taste, because they introduce, after the surgery, you're allowed to eat certain foods at certain times, and it changes the chemistry. So I used to be a sweet tooth person. Like I never met candy or cookies or cake that I didn't love. Now I crave savory things, like chips, but honestly, like burritos. I want something like an entree. That's what I crave now. And you used to be a huge steak person.
Big on beef. I mean,
everything.
So if you're familiar with Lowry seasoning, They have a restaurant in LA. And I think they also have in other places, but it started in LA called, it's Laurie's. Laurie's the prime rib. And they had something called the Diamond Jim Brady cut. And they used to serve it to the teams playing in the Rose Bowl, but now they serve it to people. And literally, it's like you chop off the side of a cow and cook it.
That's huge.
And I'd have the whole thing in one sitting. And now I have a little bit of a prime rib, and I'm a happy camper. And if I have more than that, I keep mentioning the feeling that you have at the end of Thanksgiving dinner. You have that all the time now. After
you get there really
surgery.
quickly. Yeah.
And it's just, it's just such a change in your body. So now I am more of a chicken person than a beef person.
Yeah.
Never thought that would happen.
But I also love how every now and then I'll catch you looking at yourself in the mirror, like you're admiring your new body. Like I love seeing you so happy about it, you know?
I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing Levi's 501s now, and I couldn't wear them after college because they just didn't have them in my size.
Yeah.
501s. I used to get them at Miller's Outpost. Place doesn't exist anymore, but it's where you have to get your 501s.
Well, and for me, like I had to just buy whatever would fit, and I wasn't really focused on style necessarily. I've always been a comfort girl first. I mean, the moment
I can no longer buy pants, I'm always going to have to buy shirts at Big and Tall because I'm a tall person.
Yeah, if it's long torso, yeah.
But I can't get pants at the Big and Tall store anymore because I'm too small in pant size for Big and Tall. That moment when I couldn't shop in the Big and Tall store anymore for pants, wow, you talk about life changing.
I know.
But that's not the only thing. I mean, the surgery has been a big help, but there's also the food noise. And we're going to take a quick break because Dara really has a lot to say about that.
I really do. I want to get into this. So we're going to take a short break here, and we'll come back and talk about GLP-1.
Right after this.
Okay.
All right, we're back for one more segment.
Yeah.
Because you really want to talk about something else that's becoming big.
For me, it's been a game changer in the food noise. And if you have battled your weight for a long time, you know what food noise is. Oprah has talked about this a lot because she's probably the most public person in her weight over the last 30 or 40 years. She's been the butt of how many jokes, right? She's done so many podcasts and so many episodes about weight loss and losing weight. And she described food noise perfectly in that, you know, she would say, well, what do I have in the cupboard? Or I just had a bag of chips. That's 300 calories. And when can I eat my next meal? And it's like you're constantly obsessing. It's almost like if you are an alcoholic, you're always thinking, when can I get my next drink? If you have food noise, you're always thinking about, when am I eating? What, you know, it's kind of a focus that preoccupies your brain. And for me, taking GLP-1s has turned that noise way down. It's like, I'll be like, okay, yeah, it's noon. I should probably eat. Okay, what do I have? I'll have some chicken and some broccoli, or I'll have an apple, or I'll have some carrot sticks or whatever. Like I can focus on what's healthy for me instead of I need those donuts or I need the highly processed food that my brain would have wanted before. Does that make sense? So I want to throw this name out to you, Dr. Anya Yastroboff. She's an endocrinologist and associate professor at the Yale School of Medicine. I saw her first on Oprah, of course, her Oprah podcast. She's been on there a few times, and she talks about GLP-1s because she's been the head of research on GLP-1s for probably 20 years or so. She and Oprah did a book called Enough. It just came out, and it basically focuses on the set point that we all have. So everyone has a set point. Our weight is controlled by our brain, just like our blood pressure, just like so many levels in our brain. They control our body, right?
Right. Like my big stomach gave me a set point that was astronomical.
Well, sure.
Like I couldn't burn off.
Well, sure.
What I need to eat.
Well, our body processes sugar. You might be insulin resistant. You might have high blood pressure, high cholesterol. There's a lot in our bodies that's balanced by our brain chemistry, and our weight is one of them. And so that enough point that Dr. Anya talks about it can be altered by the GLP-1s. And so your body is meant to protect you. In days of famine, it would help you slow down your metabolism so the fat that you did have on your body would keep you alive while you were hunting for food. right? But now we have such an overabundance of food. We have so much food available that it's almost the opposite. Like we have so much food, but little nutrition. Or we're putting so much sugar into our mouth that we're getting all the calories, but not the nutrition. So the GLP-1s help that set point lower to where your body feels like, oh, I can start to burn fat now. I don't have to hold on to all this excess fat. And so it turns down the food noise. It helps raise how much fat you're burning that you're not carrying around with you. And so just like you had high blood pressure, the GLP-1s help in that set point and processing your insulin, balancing the all of those hunger things, whether it's ghrelin, all the chemicals that tell you whether you're hungry or not. So,
I mean, it resonates with me because you talk about the set point.
Yeah.
Having enough, I could never have enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now I have a set point.
Yeah.
That really, there's a point. A quarter of a burrito, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I've never felt that in my lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, with GLP-1s, again, it's not for everybody, and it's not a quick fix. I know it's kind of the trend right now to say, well, I need to lose 10 pounds. I better take a GLP-1. That's really not what it's for. It's really for the long-term maintenance of your set point and your insulin resistance. It's also, it lowers your inflammation. It also, they're showing good signs in preventing cancer and also dementia and Alzheimer's. So it's kind of at the forefront of a lot of new discoveries where the GLP-1s are concerned. And there's let's see, what was the first one? Semaglutide, and then tirzepatide. And the newest one that's coming out is retatrutide. And that one, so each one works on different receptors. And so it's really best to work with your doctor to find the right one for you, the right dose. Always start slow because there are side effects.
We're not doctors, but I mean, it's like, just like any medication, and we have to look at obesity. I mean, I know you want to say it's a disease. To me, it's not just disease, it's a condition.
Yeah.
And it's not
manageable.
something, it's manageable, it's treatable, but also we have to realize it's something that people don't ask for.
That's the key.
You don't,
That's the key. And I feel like not all overweight people are obese, but if you have obesity, you're going to be overweight. So it's like, is it a disease, obesity, that causes you to overeat? Or is it the overeating that causes obesity? It's the first. It's if you have obesity, it's that imbalance and that food noise, the craving, the insulin resistance, all of that. But not everybody that needs to lose weight is obese.
It's like anxiety and depression. Not every person who's anxious has anxiety. Not every person who's depressed has depression.
Exactly.
But when you have depression, like I do, it's uncontrollable at times, and
it can come out of the blue.
It's like blaming someone for like for having autism. It's like blaming someone for having high blood pressure. Yeah,
or high cholesterol.
You manage it. You do it, but it's not necessarily something you make. You don't make yourself obese in a lot of cases. You just are. You don't make yourself tall. You just, I can't control the fact that I hit chandeliers when I walk into a room.
Yeah.
I just am tall.
So I want to caution people that GLP-1s are not they're not the quick solution. They're really tied to a lot of other things. And so I'm going to put some links that tie to the Oprah podcast so you can learn directly from Dr. Anya what she is saying. Check out the book Enough.
I know something else you want to point out is that this is not something that's like, and I know there's always trendy weight loss, whatever. If you get on GLP-1s or something like that, it's just like I'm always going to be on blood pressure medication. I'm always going to be taking some Balsa for depression. This is not something you take and, okay, I'm done with it. It's
because you're going to regain it. Like you can lower that set point while you're on the GLP-1, but when you go off that medication, it's going to go right back up if you truly needed that to regulate that set point. So once you start GLP-1s, you're probably going to need to either microdose it or stay onto it to some degree for the rest of your life, just to maintain.
Just like any other treatment. And of course, that goes back to the current state of the American health system where there's a price tag involved. And we can go on that there shouldn't be. Like the rest of the civilized world, and we like to think we're civilized.
But prices should be coming down with the more research, the more availability that comes with it. So that's really all that I wanted to say about GLP-1s is that for us, the combination of the gastric sleeve and the GLP-1 and eating right, all of that is helping us probably be in the best shape that we've ever been in our life.
And, we talk about all this because we know there's others who deal with this, and we hope it resonates with you. And if it does, we do definitely want to hear from you.
That's really why we're here, is just to create a community that, hey, we've been through things that maybe you're going through too, and maybe we can help each other.
Exactly. So, and that's it for today. But we really, as I said, we want you to reach out to us. So we have ways you can do that. You can call us at 435-990-5824. That's 435-990-5824. You can also email us at From Lala to Utah. That says one word, FROMLALATO, Utah@gmail.com. From Lala to Utah@gmail.com. And share your thoughts about today's episode. If anything resonated with you, is there anything you want us to talk about from our experience?
That's it. If you have any questions, if you have any questions that we can help answer, any advice, we'd love to answer those questions for you. So we wanted to say thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again on Monday.
Make the best of this week, and we hope to see you next Monday.
Have a great week.